What's good, YouTube? It's CuddleofDeath here. Hey, happy day, woo! And I am happy to announce that I am back for UCL Season 2 as the coach of the Tulsa Talonflames. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into my OU picks and explain why these were my particular picks, and I hope that you guys enjoy. I'm going to try to be a bit more serious this year about, doing team building videos and stuff, although, I'm definitely not claiming to be the #1 battler by any means. I hope to use this season of UCL as a learning experience because I'm sure with all of the new Pokemon that Sun and Moon have that it's going to be really fun Season 3. So I would like to get more into Pokemon Wi-Fi battling again, and this is the perfect way to do so. So starting off with our very first pick, Volcanion. This was actually a Pokemon that was not my #1 pick. It was definitely within my top 3, so I was still wanting it, but it was still in my top 3, so I was still going to go for it anyways, but I was living in fear thinking that someone else was going to also prioritize this pick, now being aware of hey, Volcanion's available, so I went for it. If you guys didn't know, Volcanion is actually rather bulky. Obviously the HP stat is not terrible. Defense is pretty freaking awesome. Special defense stat is not bad. Speed's kind of mediocre, but the special attack and attack stats are actually pretty good. It gets the ability Water Absorb, which grants us an awesome water immunity, which is gonna be freaking great. It actually has no quad weaknesses, which is also good, and check out some of the moves that it can learn. It gets access to Brick Break, so if anyone's trying to set up some walls, they are not going to set up some walls against me. We also get Earth Power and Earthquake, depending on how we want to run it. Explosion to set up a nice big bang here. Flame Charge to change that speed stat and up it a bit, which could actually be pretty freaking awesome. Flamethrower. Flare Blitz if we have to use it. Flash Cannon. Focus Miss, Focus Miss. Haze. Haze can actually be pretty awesome, especially if someone's trying to set up against us. We can just be like, hey, no, it's not happening. Then you, of course, also get access to things like Sludge Wave. Steam Eruption, which is the better Scald. It's literally like a Hydro Scald is the best way I would describe it. It is only 95% accurate, so hopefully we don't get lots of misses or any at all. I'm just really praying to Arceus that we don't get any misses. But this is actually an awesome move. Not to mention Dual Stab. Dual Stab is also awesome. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. We also get Will-O-Wisp, which is great. It's just got, again, it has phenomenal coverage. I have several different ideas on how I'd like to run it. Sometimes I run really weird stuff to catch people off guard because sometimes that's what you have to do. So we shall see how I'm going to run it. I don't want to go over spreads and all that stuff because I don't want to give away any strategy. But Volcanion, all across the board, is a pretty decent Pokemon. Last season I had Heatran, but Heatran does possess some quad weaknesses. At least it has ground or whatever. But I'm going to go and move on to our next pick, which is Thundurus-Incarnate. This one scared me because it was not my first electric pick. My first electric pick, because I had one, was going to be Raikou. Guess who sniped me? PK Sparks. That snipeness. He sniped me really hard by picking up Raikou. So I was like, alright, what are we going to do about this? Because I would love to have an electric type, something fast, something that I can do some work with. So I decided to go with Thundurus-Incarnate. Thundurus-Incarnate has decent attack and special attack stats, as well as speed and bomb-ass Prankster. It has access to Prankster, and if I wanted to run Defiant, that can also be rather helpful. We were just talking about versatility as well, and it is no different for Thundurus-Incarnate. It has access to things like Bulk Up, Brick Break, Dark Pulse, Discharge, for that good old stab there. We got Flash Cannon, Focus Miss, Foul Play if needed. Knockoff is always good. Nasty Plot. Oh, you can do some nasty things with some Nasty Plot. You have Psychic. Of course, you can always set up with Sub. Quick Taunt, or Prankster Taunt, is incredulous. And you also have Prankster T-Wave, and something that's really good is Switch Initiative, and we have two options, U-Turn and Volt Switch. Now, obviously, on teams where you're oh, I think they're gonna stack up on electric communities like Ground-type Mons or what have you, then you're gonna want to run U-Turn. So that's also very nice. I'm actually really digging this pick, and although it's not Raikou, we do have Prankster available to us, which could be really good and work forever in our favor. This brings me to my final pick, another Defiant Mon, which is Bisharp. And this pick actually had some people like, Kristen, Bisharp's not really that great in League format. And while that may be true, that does not mean just because it may not be that great, in your opinion, I'm not saying I agree with them, but in your opinion, it may not be great in League format. That doesn't mean that it won't perform well in the UCL. So we shall actually see that. Now let's actually take a look at Bisharp here. He's got pretty decent attack and defense stat, crap for HP, and almost crap for everything else. See, because he's got mediocre speed, but what he does have though, he's able to break down light screens. He's able to break down some screens here. He's also able to get that stab. Ironhead gets access to a really strong knockoff. You can play some mind games with people. You have access to things like knockoff, sucker punch, and pursuit. That's huge. Also, we get access to stealth rocks. We get access to sub. If we manage to get sub and swords dance, oh, that's pretty freaking nasty. Also, another taunter. We have access to thunder wave if we need it. Toxic, as well as we also have a psychic immunity and a poison immunity, which is actually interesting because a lot of my draft, which I will go over it as like final thoughts here in a few videos, I suppose, a lot of my draft is actually not bad so far, and I'm hoping that the RU and Inu and Blow picks end up rounding out everything so well. We'll have to see that tomorrow, which would be July 2nd as of this video for those people who don't like to check the dates. But something to, let you guys know about these OU picks is that they synergize with each other. For example, Thundurus doesn't like Ice Beam, but I've got Volcanion who can take an Ice Beam with no prob. Bisharp and Volcanion don't like Earthquake, but guess what? I have Thundurus, which is not going to take anything from Earthquake because it's going to be resistant to that. You can't touch it. It's up in the air. Unless you have Mold Breaker, then you're a jerk, and then I'll have to deal with that. But that's okay. That's totally for a whole nother scenario. But we're not thinking that everyone has Mold Breaker because they don't. So overall, I'm pretty happy with my OU picks. What do you guys think? Down in the comment section below, let me know, and I shall be covering my UU picks here in a bit. I'm super excited for United Championship League Season 2. Tulsa Talonflames are here, and we are going to try our best, but the biggest thing that we're going to do is have lots of fun. I was very thankful last season to have tons of amazing supporters who weren't like jerkish in the comment section about battling and stuff, because in reality, the UCL is for fun. It's a league with friends, but some people get mad and take it too far or whatever. But hopefully, I have a supportive audience once again. And I'm super excited. I can't wait to talk about my UU picks, and I can't wait to do team building and take things a little bit more seriously this year, even if we win or if we lose. I love you guys, and I hope to see you all in the next video. I really do hope that you enjoyed.